please go to my partner channel, The King of Hate HD, and click on the ads that show up on the videos there, because hopefully, you know, fingers crossed, that actually starts giving me some money back for what I'm doing. I mean, it's not cheap to do what I'm doing. I bought a lot of games, a lot of equipment, and now I have my own condo, which is basically my studio, to do whatever the hell I want. So, you know, anything that you can give back is much appreciated. I also do have the PayPal donation. Basically, I crunched some numbers. I tried to figure some stuff out. And basically, realistically, I could probably make this work and be that I just make videos for YouTube as a job. It being that now I don't have a full-time job taking up 8 hours a day, you know, actually really it was more like 10 to 12 hours a day, 5 days a week, and having that time now to work on my videos and my gameplay and other things, I might be able to make it work. And here's how. It's not going to be based off of selling any product. It's basically going to be based off of my partner channel, which is this channel, The King of Hate HD, and basically how much you guys participate with this channel, if you know what I mean. I'm not allowed to come out and just say, you know, how you can do that, but anyone who's accustomed to YouTube and how the partner channels work, I'm sure you understand what I'm saying.
Hey yo, I just want to say shout out to my red bike. It got stolen about a year ago, and I think about you every day. But, you know, now I got a blue bike, and it's not the same, but it's a new life, a new journey. So, rest in pedals, red bike, I love you. I like to bask in the tropics with a flask in my pocket. If you acting no brolic, I'll start laughing and mocking like a charismatic parrot that isn't comic. Now I'm feeling like the shit, cause I'm rapping with phonics. Loose off of Jan Ricky's, perusing Sin City, riding my Schwinn smooth like the swing of Ken Griffey, and the felt of the velvet. I said hell with a helmet. I can tell that you're jealous of the smell of the shellfish. Don't tell me I need a haircut. You can't walk a mile in my shoes cause I'm barefoot. Boss taking the toke, God's making the joke. With a Mickey Mantle rookie card, close pinned in my spoke. I'm partying with the dead like Dia de los Muertos. People look at me funny.
Good afternoon, good morning, good evening. This is DSP News, the unreliable ones. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the newsroom and welcome to the Goutopia News Network, your unreliable source for DSP News. This is the Snort Report. Let's go. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you guys are doing well. I really do. I'm feeling good today. Hopefully you guys are feeling good today, no matter what time of the day it is. And I wish you guys well, not just today, not just tomorrow, but every day moving forward. Ladies and gentlemen, we have two videos that are going to make up our broadcast, both brought to us by Snort Burnell, but of course. And let's see here. First one, Snort Burnell, DSP, debunking AdSense banned account and low interactions persist. Should be good. Ooh, this should be really good. Yeah, we'll tie the second one in. We'll see how it goes, but I think we'll go with the two. Second video, Snort Burnell, DSP. Twitch payment doesn't matter. He still needs the tips. In salty Street Fighter 2 rage quit. Ooh, it's gonna be delicious. Ladies and gentlemen, how you guys doing? First things first, before we go into this little part here, let's talk a little bit about SnortBucks coffee. I love SnortBucks coffee. But as of late, you know, sometimes some of you guys aren't really into the actual coffee. Sometimes, you know, it's not that the coffee's bad. It's just you guys aren't coffee people. That's okay. We have tea, as you guys should also know. Yeah, so it's a thing. You know what I'm saying? It's, you know, you want to keep some of your hot beverages together. But we also have hot cocoa. I've chosen today to go with a new creation out of the SnortBucks coffee kitchen, if you will. I like to call it winter with salty pork. Ladies and gentlemen, imagine a warm cup of white chocolate, hot chocolate, with a whip of with a whipped blend of fresh heavy cream, caramel, with 2 pieces of salty yet sweet candy bacon on the side. Oh, it's so good. It sounds so good. It's the little things that brighten up my morning. It should be the little things that brighten up your morning too. So, just something to think about. That's our new creation. Like we said, we call it. I kind of want to call it. I really kind of want to call it Winter in Snortopia. Ooh, I like that. Nah, the first name was better. So, just something to think about. There's variety here. So, you know, you don't ever feel like you should have to settle. Not that doesn't mean just here, but that just means anywhere in general. Now, how do we approach our broadcast for today? He wants to debunk the AdSense story. He must have been working on this, so this should be good. Ladies and gentlemen, the cliff notes, if you will, of the AdSense story goes all the way back to Spamgate, when Dspgaming had no ads on it whatsoever. It couldn't be monetized, and he had to run to KO Gaming. Running to KO Gaming was he was desperate, obviously, but that was a bit hypocritical because he always told us that KO Gaming was blacklisted and it could never get ads on it. That's the reason why all the videos kept getting demonetized, because it was blacklisted, yet that was the first place he went to, threw ads on it, and there's no problems. Imagine that. So anyway, that story right there, it was going to be interesting in itself, because he eventually ends up admitting that he had a dummy account. He had a fake account that he was using to have ads on Dspgaming. Then he tried to move it over to another AdSense account that was his, in his air quotes, legitimate AdSense account, and he couldn't do it because he couldn't get it untied, couldn't get Dspgaming, if I remember correctly, untied from the dummy account. And that was a whole rigmarole in itself, and he had to talk to YouTube support and try to work all that shit out. He admitted that he made the fake account and whatnot so he could, because he couldn't access he couldn't have multiple accounts, or he couldn't have multiple channels on accounts anymore. This was all because of the whole Machinima fiasco when he got himself kicked off. So this is where that whole situation comes from. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this goes into a much deeper story as it pertains to why he was actually kicked out of the Google AdSense account in the first place. Because this idiot had gone on for years and tried to say that he never asked anybody to click ads, right, to support him, even though there are a couple different videos out there that go over it. I've done that. I've done at least one of those videos on the Fight Club channel. Excuse me. Where he did ask them to click ads so he could get the revenue, so he could continue doing what he was doing, because the cost of games were expensive and it wasn't easy. And then when he lost his job, he asked them to do it, to interact with the videos. He didn't want to come out and say it because he knew he'd be fucking up if he did, but to interact with the videos. And if you guys have been around for any period of time, you know what that means, so he can get paid off of it. These are some of the things that ended up getting him buried. Now, how he decides to approach this is going to be interesting in its own right. But I have faith in Snort Burnell, just like I would have faith in Mighty D or Memology or Mrhuth Stuff, or anybody else who does content creation like this, that they're gonna come through in the clutch. I have an idea of what scene they're gonna use too. So this should be good. This is gonna be real good to hear him backtrack or see what he tries to revise, if you will. Low interactions. I mean, deal with it. You make garbage content, so what do you expect? Now, the second broadcast, though, is the interesting one. Twitch payment doesn't matter. He still needs your tips. I told you, ladies and gentlemen, this was going to be a piggy vortex. There is no getting out. You're stuck in this for life now. Okay? You know what I'm saying? Just like that whole situation with Kat. He put a ring on it. Now he has to deal with everything that comes with it, and the law will always be on her side. Good luck with that, Phil, when that comes up. And then Salty Street Fighter 2 Rage Quit. Now, it's my understanding that the creator of This Is How You Don't Plays, the Godfather, Evil AJ, apparently has been rather active in some of these retro Street Fighter streams Phil's been having lately. Getting in that ass, what I've been told. And since Phil doesn't mind inserting stuff up his own ass and in other people's asses, he shouldn't feel any real discomfort. At least one would think. We're gonna find out what this rage quit thing is about, though. I'm sure it's gonna be good. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you guys are doing well. Thank you very much for listening in, and let's go ahead and get into the broadcast proper, shall we? Because I think that's why you guys are all here. At least I hope so. I don't have too much else except for my cup of SnortBucks coffee. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Snort Report, and this is DSP News. Always late, never breaking. Unreliable coverage that you can't count on. A GTG networking production. You guys all know the slogan. I don't smell no bacon cooking yet. We're going to get on it, because we need this candy bacon to go with this new drink that I just came up with. So let's go ahead and make that happen while the skillet is still hot, so to speak. And it's time, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to watch me work. Oh boy.
So I bought a blue one. I was sad, but fuck it, I got a new one. Chasing wrong with the juice of a plum. In the singing mood, the drinking pool's like a bomb. Someone stole my red bike, so I bought a blue one. I was sad, but fuck it, I got a new one. I got a new thing, yeah. I hope that it's alright with you. With you, with you. I told my girl I got a new thing, yeah. I hope that this alright with you. With you, with you. Hey yo, someone stole my red bike, so I bought a blue one. If I see that fucker riding it, then I'ma sue one. Got rich, then I blew up, got everyone in my crew one. Ride for my true ones. Yo, I told my girl I got a new thing. Yeah, yeah. I hope that this alright with you. With you, with you.
And I was going to be absolutely disgusting.
I want to say, please, if at all you can today, please tip me. All right?
It's a good day. It's a good day. I hope you guys are having a great day. I hope you guys are going to have a great week. But it's a good day. It's a real good day. I don't know. It's a good day. Ladies and gentlemen, we're here with one of our favorites, Snort Burnell, DSP, debunking AdSense banned account and low interactions persist. So sad. For him. Not for the rest of us, but for him. Here we go.
Reason being, I know I've just mentioned a bunch of ways that you can contribute. Tipping me helps me more than anything right now. Supposedly today I'm supposed to get paid by Twitch for the month, which will be great. Sadly, I don't get those funds immediately. There is some processing time. Typically, it takes at least one business day for that to clear and hit my bank account. Considering today is Sunday, it may take longer. I don't know. I've been in a really bad financial position this last month. Incredibly.
What do you mean you don't know? For one, obviously, if it takes a business day to clear, Sunday is not considered a business day. First thing. Second thing is, you've been paid on a Sunday before, or on a weekend in general. You know how this works. The fuck you talking about? So that's another thing. And more importantly, if you have a businessman who allegedly runs a business and he doesn't understand how business days work, then there's a bit of a problem in there. Especially since he's told us multiple times that no matter what day his payment makes it on, or sorry, what day his payment is sent to him on, I should say, he has to at least wait a day or so before he can take the money out. He's admitted this before too. At the minimum 1 day, at the maximum 3 days. You gotta keep the lie together, Phil. Get it together. Seriously, you look sloppy right now. You beg ugly. Jesus Christ, clean up yourself. Jesus. Even I don't have to tell Catherine that after she leaves the bed. Jesus.
Bad, where I've been overdrawn on my bank account since the 5th. So for 10 straight days, everything you guys have contributed, I put towards it, and it just keeps overdrawing on me. It sucks, okay? And being very frank and honest with all of you, it's a terrible feeling. So, if you tip me, that will go straight towards that situation. Alright? I pledge to you, anything you tip goes straight to the bank account to clear that up. So please consider tipping me, if at all you can today. If that's how it's going to help me more than anything.
They latch on like fucking, like ticks, and they suck the blood slowly.
Alright, so Felix tipped me $2 and says, Vanessa loves your streams. Thank you to anyone who came to her stream after the raid. Oh my god.
I think he did that on purpose. And maybe he should, maybe he shouldn't, because if Vanessa Reach, I believe her name is, shouts out the Dark Bike, ends up turning out to being what we think this is going to be, she's going to definitely bleed him. She's going to cut him good. She may not cut him super deep, but she's going to cut him good for some of his profits, for some of the profits and some of the notoriety that could come off of this. So, I mean, if he's getting disrespectful about it now as a deterrent for her to be participating, then it might be a thing. Because how randomly does he say someone's name and then belches in a very egregious sort of way afterwards? That's just my opinion, of course. I'm not saying that I'm trying to telegraph anything. But, you know, it is what it is. We all saw what happened with the Bad Bunny situation.
That was absolutely disgusting. I'm very sorry. I didn't even feel that one coming. I seriously didn't feel that one coming. In the middle of my sentence, gas erupted out of my mouth. That was absolutely revolting, and I apologize wholeheartedly and profusely to all of you for that. That one took me by surprise, okay? So I'm sorry. Jeez. Yuck. Alright, we gotta start this whole thing over now. We gotta start this whole thing over. I feel horrible. Let's try this again. Alright, so, Felix tipped me $2. Thank you, Felix, for the $2 tip and getting the tipping started today. Alright, Felix says the following. Vanessa loves your streams. Thank you to everyone who came to her stream after the raid. Phil is streaming Minecraft. No, Phil, she's streaming Minecraft now. Her title is Darkside Phil is my hero. You made an impression on her, and she wants her stream to be just as interactive. Well, I'm glad if I made a positive impression on anyone. I certainly don't think I should ever be anyone's hero. I think that's a terrible, terrible thing. If you want to be like me, you pretty much probably don't know much about me. You certainly don't want to be in my position, and you certainly don't want to be harassed like I have been over the years. So, if anything, you know, if I've taught you anything positive about, you know, streaming and interactivity, great. That's great. But certainly, please don't try to be like me and don't hold me up as your hero. That's an absolutely awful thing. Okay? It's awful. Can't believe anyone would even say that. Okay? So anyway, thank you, Felix, for the $2 tip. Yeah, I don't even know. I never even heard of Vanessa until yesterday, and she came in and raided and, you know, interacted a bit. And, you know, always nice to see newcomers.
That was rather honest of him to say don't be like him and whatnot. I wish he would have, I don't wish shit, but I wish he, I already said it twice. It would have been honest if he would have said, hey, don't make the mistakes that I made, instead of kind of partially victimizing himself there like he did. But, yeah, no one should be striving to be like Darkside Phil. If anything else, if her best bet is to learn from his mistakes and move off from it. And like any potential thought, and keyword is potential thought, I'm sure that she's going to learn how to profit well off of him. Because he does have Phil does show you a pretty good crash course in how e-begging works, especially if you have no shame. Now, if you're an attractive female, you're probably not going to have any shame either which way. But, that's neither here nor there, I suppose. But we'll see how that plays out. We'll see how that evolves. Because eventually, she definitely doesn't want to get tied to that. Obviously, labeling your stream as Darkside Phil is my hero is going to definitely get you clicks. But but she definitely doesn't want to actually get tied into that. She really don't. She really, really don't. Especially if she comes out on Twitter and starts flipping out and tries to defend him. It's going to bring you a lot of attention, sweetie, but it might not be the attention that you're actually looking for. Just saying.
Coming by the stream, especially if they're streamers themselves, and if I can, at any point, you know, inspire people, then that's that, okay? Awesome. Here we go. Palm Primus trying to derail the entire stream with something that I've already explained ad nauseum for a million times. I really don't even know if I should bother. Do you guys really want to talk about in 2009 and 2010, the AdSense problems that I had on YouTube? Is this really something pertinent to today that he's trying to derail the stream with? Do you guys really want me to talk about this? Because if you do, I'll very briefly address it, and then we'll move on. Yes? Okay. So, in 2010, my YouTube AdSense account was suspended for invalid click activity. Alright? And at that point, there was tons of speculation about what the hell that means. No one really knew. I made videos about it saying I don't know why it was suspended.
What are you talking about? It was suspended for invalid click activity. Sorry. I think that kind of speaks for itself. You had people spamming the click. You had people spamming your ads so you could get more money. That's obviously what that was. That's obviously what it sounds like. You tried to game the system, Phil, and you got caught. And he made a big fuss about it, and then he had to run to Blip TV. But let's let him continue.
At that point, you couldn't even put advertisements on gameplay videos anyway. I was only putting advertisements on vlogging that I had been doing at the time. And it sucked because...
Now, that's another thing, too, that is a bit problematic. I've been waiting to point this out. Phil tells us that he never made a dime off YouTube. Keyword, think about this. He said he never made a dime off YouTube until, what, late 2010, early 2011? But his vlogging channel was always available to make money. Everybody already knows this. This isn't like super exclusive lore or anything. Everybody knows this. That the King of Hate HD always had that was always making money for him on YouTube because it was vlogs. He couldn't monetize gameplay videos yet. gameplay videos. But he had to have known that eventually that was going to come up down the line. So in a lot of ways, a lot of people talk about Phil's survivability and how it's amazing how things work out for him. He had to have known that he would be able to monetize gameplay videos right around the time that he ended up getting fired from the helicopter company. Hence the reason why he wasn't that, let's say, motivated to go and he wasn't that motivated to go and look for another job when what he's doing currently, playing video games and putting that on his channel to build his name, is going to eventually bring him money. That's just my own personal theory, though, so take of that what you will. But he was always making money on YouTube, at least off of his vlogs, and had been for a while. So, yet again, that's a discrepancy in itself. What he tries to do is attach that to the caveat that I never made a single dollar off gameplay videos. But he did make money off of his vlogs. So YouTube had been paying him for a while. Just to keep in mind. Also, on his King of Hate Vlogs channel, or King of Hate HD, it was one of the two. I think it was King of Hate HD before it became King of Hate Vlogs. I think. I'm kind of fuzzy on that part. He also had the donation link to his PayPal. That was there too. And the video that he got fired, and he talks about it, he basically puts all that out there. So keep that in mind too.
2 months, I was making incredibly good money on my vlogging because people felt so bad that I'd been laid off from my full-time job at the time. I remember I worked at an office job for just under 5 years and had been making videos, YouTube videos, as a hobby at the time. And then when I lost that job, people...
Wasn't that much of a hobby if you were getting paid for it? Yeah, I guess... Never mind. Let me take that back. Because you can do a hobby and it can pay off financially for you. So never mind. Let me take that back. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry to him, but I'll take that back.
Felt bad and started going to my vlogging videos, watching the shit out of them, and yes, I'll say this, probably clicking the living shit out of the ads on the videos, because they felt bad at what had happened to me and wanted to support me, alright? I just want to say thanks a lot to everyone. I hope to entertain you in the future. Please go to my partner channel, the King of Hate HD, and click on the ads that show up on the videos there. But
okay, so I was right. It was King of Hate HD. And like I said, it's funny, because now that I think about this, hence the reason why I said I don't apologize to him directly, that this was all supposed to be just a hobby, but he was getting paid off of his vlog channel. But yet he still had donations linked, like I said, from the Phil still had his PayPal where people were sending him donations, so he could continue to get games and so on and so forth. So it sounds like it really wasn't a hobby, but he was laying down the groundwork, not even mud brick, just throwing buckets of mud on top of mud, to build a foundation for something to come later on. So yeah, I'm not, so my apology still stands because I jumped the gun on it. But at the same time though too, I'm not going to give him the credit and say that it was just a hobby when obviously he saw a chance to make money financially, and because he was already making money, good money, shouts out to Alinity, making good money on his HD channel, on his vlogs, that why wouldn't he hit them with this sob story so he could get even more money out of it and continue to get the views that he needed on his DSP gaming channel so they can support that too, even though he wasn't making any money off of that yet. And this is where this whole ultimate underdog bullshit kind of narrative ends up getting born too. Keep all that in mind.
Fingers crossed, that actually starts giving me some money back for what I'm doing. I mean, it's not cheap to do what I'm doing. I bought a lot of games, a lot of equipment, and now I have my own condo, which is basically my studio, to do whatever the hell I want. So, you know, anything that you can give back is much appreciated. I also do have the PayPal donation on the left-hand side of my Darkside Phil channel. It explains how to go to PayPal and what email address to send a donation to, darksidephil@hotmail.com.
I've gotten many donations, and as I said before, if you send me a donation of,
he had that link at the on the side of his HD channel too, because I remember someone calling him out on that on Twitter. I mean, it makes sense to have it on both, so it is what it is. But definitely have it on his Darkside Phil channel because that's where a lot of the traffic came in. God, you look like a greedy slime ball, dude. Like, you just kind of look like a scumbag. God damn, his hairline did recede too a lot. But yeah, he should really just cut his hair like short like that. Be honest, he's better off. Anyway, let's let him hear what he had to say.
$10, $15, $20 or more, I'll mention your name in a video because I do appreciate that. So, thanks a lot.
Well, YouTube saw this activity and suspended my AdSense account, okay? Indefinitely. They didn't ban me from the program. They just basically said, you're suspended indefinitely. You can't use AdSense anymore, okay? So at that time, I kind of had to panic. What am I going to do? I got to make money. First, I went to Blip TV for a month and a half. Then I went back to YouTube, and I ended up getting partnered with Machinima, and the rest is history.
I like how we just kind of skipped over that Blip TV era. I like how we missed that part of the anime arc.
Because I was partnered with Machinima for quite some time. Yada, yada, yada. That's really not part of the story, all right? So anyway, people always speculated about why I had been suspended from the AdSense program. And of course, people who don't like me went ahead and completely speculated, which is exactly what they do even in the modern day. We're talking 10 years later, people are still fucking doing this, okay? But people are, it must be because of something Phil did. It must be. So what did they do? They went back and they dug through the archives of my videos. And they found a video from mid-2009, all right? A year and a half earlier than when I had actually been suspended from the AdSense program. And said, Phil, if you watch in this particular vlog, you tell people directly to click on the ads if they want to support you. And I watched it back, and you're right. At that point, that was the very first video that I ever had even revealed who I was on the internet. It was the first time you had ever seen my face. And during that video, you know, I was very naive. I didn't even understand really how AdSense worked or whatever. That was a time when I was just starting to...
He had enough of an understanding to know that, oh, you guys click these ads, it's going to make me more money. So let's not plead ignorance on how Google AdSense worked when you directed people in a very straightforward way on how they can support you and how to do it. Let's not plead ignorance on that.
Break out on YouTube. It was around mid-2009, so that was probably not even a year had I been making videos on YouTube yet, but people had really liked the stuff that I had put out, and my channels were growing at an exponential rate at that point. And so I remember, again, back then, you couldn't make any money on gameplay videos. You couldn't even monetize a video game video whatsoever. They wouldn't allow you to. So the only videos that I had monetized were vlogging-style videos. And at that point, I was like, man, you know, if you want to help me out and help me afford the cost of games...
And that's what that right there tells me that he had to have known gameplay videos were going to get monetized eventually. He must have heard something, or someone must have, or, you know, maybe YouTube had put out the inkling that, hey, we're leaning towards probably doing this, and why not? The gaming landscape was really growing at that time, and so there was money to be made. So I guess from a business standpoint, Phil at least saw that. He just didn't know exactly when it was going to actually be implemented. But it's kind of ironic how it worked out for him. It worked out for him right on time. Right on time that he ends up getting fired and whatnot, loses the AdSense account, goes the Blip, gets bodied over there because of fucking... Anyway, gets bodied over there, then comes back on YouTube, hits the ground running with mommy and daddy's support, obviously, and then eventually gets picked, then begs Hutch for a job, and then eventually gets on Machinima. It worked out pretty conveniently, if you think about it.
For the videos that I put out on my gaming channel, you know, come over to my vlogs and check out the videos and support me by doing stuff like watching and clicking the ads. And of course, that's not allowed per YouTube's, you know, terms of service. It says right on there, you can't, my God, stupid throat. It says you can't say that. You cannot ask that of your viewers, because what that does, that creates, disingenuous ad activities. Okay? It does. It creates them. And it's not right to do that. You can't do that. Okay? Now, the thing is, I did this in mid-2009. Now, during that course of time, a year and a half later, my channels had grown way bigger. Like, I would probably say my stuff was at least twice as big by the end of 2010 as it was in mid-2009. Tons of people had seen that video. YouTube had never taken any action against me at all for it, alright? It wasn't until I got laid off from my job, okay? I got laid off in late 20... It was actually October. Actually, it was the end of September or October. I can't even remember anymore. But it was... that end of 2010, I got laid off from my job, explained the situation to everyone in a very heartfelt vlog that I put out on YouTube, and people felt bad. They were like, this sucks. Here's a guy who busts his ass at work. Here's a guy who comes home every night after a hard day at work and plays video games for 2.5 hours, uploads those videos to YouTube every night to share those experiences with us, doesn't make any money doing it, right? You know, you can't make money on this. He's done it for 2.5 years because of his passion for gaming. And we want to support this guy and let him succeed. This sucks. He just bought a condo last year. How's he going to afford all this stuff? So what they did is they ran over...
What? Wait, he put himself in that situation, though. So what you're really telling me, Phil's really trying to tell us that people stepped up out of their way to help Phil with these financial obligations that he put himself into. And he's really trying to make it sound like, oh yeah, they did it on their own goodwill. They put themselves out in that position. They put themselves out there for them to help me, because it wasn't any real fault of my own. Like I said, this is where that ultimate underdog mythos kind of came from.
To my vlogging channels, all right, and they went nuts on the ads. Essentially, they started clicking. In fact, from what I'm to understand from discussions that I've had with YouTube reps, YouTube suspected that someone had gone in there with a bot service. Okay, they had actually it's illegal. You can't do this. They had gotten a bot to sit there and auto click ads all day. So essentially what was happening was I was putting out vlogging videos that were getting anywhere from 10,000 to like 50,000 views. You know, DSP Tries It, Cooking with the King, things like Smart Guys, my wrestling vlogging that I used to do with John Rambo. You know, all the vlog stuff I used to put out. And they took that and clicked the shit out of the ads in an exorbitant amount to the point where it created a red flag in YouTube's system. You know, it wasn't anything else that had happened. It was because for about a month and a half since I lost my job, all of a sudden my revenue on my vlogging videos skyrocketed. You know, we're talking, again, videos that were bringing 10 to 50,000 views, and they were going crazy with revenue. I mean, they were like, how are these videos bringing so much revenue? It doesn't make sense. So they went and looked at this and said, obviously something's going on with these channels, or excuse me, this channel, because it was only my vlogging channel at the time, which I don't even use anymore, by the way. It was an old vlogging channel. And they said, we got to basically suspend everything because obviously something is amiss here. All right? So it did. It got suspended, and at that point, that's like I told you, I had to go with Machinima or whatever to get stuff, you know, monetized with my gameplay videos. So years later, behind the scenes, I contacted YouTube, and I said, you know, it would be nice, you know, years ago you guys suspended my AdSense account. It would be nice if I could have it back, considering that was a million years ago.
Oh yeah, I committed a crime, and you know, that was a long ass time ago. You guys might want to go ahead and give me clemency. You guys should just go ahead and do that. And give me all my privileges back as a citizen for a felony. If it was a felony, I should say. Which it's not. Just throwing it out there as a scenario. That's the first thing. Second thing is, he wouldn't have gone to YouTube for that. He would have gone to Google. He would go to the department that handled Google AdSense and ask them for that. But we know he didn't do that because people had said, why wouldn't you appeal it? They actually said that during Spamgate. Why wouldn't you just appeal to YouTube, or to Google, really? But he could go through YouTube to do it, theoretically, I'm pretty sure. I don't know, I haven't had an AdSense account suspended because I don't have one. But anyway, why don't you go to Google and ask if you can have it back? Because people have done it before. I've actually talked about that. And he said that he didn't need to because he was under Machinima. So he was just going to go through their AdSense. So, and since if you listen back to those old pre-streams, he was like, I'm not going to, what would I need it for? I'm with Machinima. He really thought he was going to be with Machinima forever, so he never cared about getting his own, getting his old AdSense account back. Because he was partnered up with Machinima. KO Gaming, DSP Gaming, and King of Hate not King of Hate HD, but King of Hate Vlogs, or The King of Hate Vlogs, were all under Machinima's umbrella. Let's hear a story up.
And they said, yeah, okay. They said, no problem.
Huh? What the fuck? Like, huh?
You know, the suspension has been there for a long time. We pretty much know at this point that, you know, it wasn't you actively doing it, but it was something that we had to do at the time. And so they did. They reinstated my AdSense account.
Obviously.
And that is an AdSense account that's still active. You know, there's no problems with it.
Now, there's some problems here because he doesn't actually tell you what the timeline is, and he does that purposely. One, why would you randomly ask for your Google AdSense back if he was with Machinima or if he was with an MCN at any given time? Because here's the thing. Think about this. He would have needed to had a Google AdSense account to join Curse, which was one of his problems. Which was an issue for him in the first place. Because remember, he was coming off of Machinima, and he only had so many days to find a new MCN, and then he ended up doing it. Now, how that happened, I'm not sure. I can't remember now, because I do remember him having a couple of pre-streams where he was complaining about, I need that YouTube had changed their rules for MCNs, and that whoever it is who wants to partner with an MCN needed to have an active Google AdSense account. Now, like I said, some of the details I might have a little bit wonky. I might be a little wonky on, so my apologies. But somebody remembers him saying that, which is one of the reasons why he was in a scramble to get an AdSense account in the first place. The dummy AdSense account, that fake one that he ended up having, that he was trying to get off of so he could put Dspgaming on his legit one. To make a long story short, why would he ask to get his Google AdSense account back if he's already part of an MCN and he's using theirs? Why would he just randomly out of the blue ask for that? That doesn't make any sense. And he wouldn't have done that during his time with Machinima, and he was only on Curse for a little while before he jumped shit to Laveria and then had to jump back, or Tabi, or whatever the fuck that shit was called. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was only over there for a little while when all that situation happened. Matter of fact, matter of fact, it was when he was jumping from Curse to Laveria or whatever that situation was when he needed his active he needed to have an active Google AdSense account. Now that I think about it, that's when he needed it, when he jumped from Curse over to that other MCN that promised him the managed partnership, and then he got screwed. Nah, something don't sound right. That whole timeline sounds like bullshit, because he even admitted that he had to make himself a dummy AdSense account at that time. This whole story sounds like bullshit now. Now that I think about it, that sounds really off, because he wouldn't have asked for it during his time with Machinima, and he wouldn't have really needed it, and I think he was able to make the transition to Curse without the AdSense account either. Something sounds off. I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to think about this a little bit more, but something sounds really off about that story now, because there's no established timeline. You have to kind of go back off what you remember. And if you remember, it was during Spamgate, when he was trying to move stuff around, was when he was bitching about that whole dummy AdSense account. Yeah, it has to be something along those lines. I think, here, don't quote me on this, but just walk with me on this. He gets kicked from Machinima, begs his audience to find him another MCN. He finds Curse, goes to Curse, everything was fine. Then someone else allegedly reaches out to him from Laveria, tells him that they can offer him a managed partnership if he comes with them. He asks for his release from Curse, so he can go and sign up with Laveria. Then he said that there was a problem. Laveria wouldn't sign him because he didn't have, because he didn't have an active Google AdSense account. And that's when he was trying to do all that wrangling to get that worked out. And by the time he did get it squared away, he ended up realizing that he was getting honey-dicked, and then that's when he went back to Curse. I think that was the timeline. I think that's the timeline. So it's not actually Spamgate. That's basically just when he got kicked off from Machinima. So yeah, that's how I kind of confused myself. I think that's as close to the timeline as true to the timeline, I should say, as one can remember it. But I'm sure some people in the comment section who remember that will say it in great detail. Here we go.
But what's happened over the years is that idiots basically completely made shit up and said, well, you see, the reason that Phil got suspended is because of this video in mid-2009 where he said to click on ads. It's like, well, wait a minute. If that were the case, right? If that were the case, why on earth weren't I suspended immediately from the AdSense program in 2009? Why is it that it only took place in late 2010? What took them a year and a half to do it, right? And it's funny because people still reference this ridiculously old topic from, of all things, Google Help Forums, alright? Google Help Forums. For those who don't know, are a laughingstock for anyone who used to do YouTube back in the day. Google Help Forums was a forum that Google set up and said, if you need help with anything, go to the forum before you try to contact YouTube. Well, essentially what Google Help Forums was a bunch of users who talked with each other and guessed.
It's called a community forum, Phil.
No one who actually worked at Google ever posted on the Google Help Forums. I'm serious. Like, they never did. They didn't care. What they would do is here's a bunch of users. You all talk to each other and try to help each other out. That's all they were. So even though they're called Google Help Forums, no help was ever provided. It was a running joke of YouTubers back in the day that you go there and basically you just you're basically blowing smoke up your own ass if you think you're ever going to get help on Google Help forums, because they don't actually help at all. They just ignore them, okay? So, back in the day, there was a thread on the Google Help forums, apparently, discussing why was Darkside Phil, you know, kicked out of the AdSense program, and someone had posted up the video from 2009, mid-2009, and someone, who I guess was named, like, Anonymous User 1 or something, who knows, right, said, oh, well, that's it, because, see, he said that, and that's against the terms of service, so that's why. It's like, but no, it doesn't make any logical sense. If that were the case, how did I continue to make ad revenue for a year and a half after saying it? It doesn't make any sense at all. So in reality, what happened, as I said, per discussions with YouTube itself, it was the actual people who went in there and clicked the living shit out of the ads to an exorbitant amount, you know, just out of control, that caused the issue. It had nothing to do with anything I ever said or did. It was because people went nuts feeling bad for me because I'd lost my job. They went in there and went crazy, and it just went out of control and exploded.
So all those people were mentally ill then, right? Just saying, I mean, using Phil's terminology, given the situation, and how it negatively affected him, that makes them mentally ill idiots, right? Another thing, too, is did YouTube actually pay him for all that illegal ad clicking? I'd be interested in knowing.
And, you know, YouTube's like, well, obviously this makes no sense. Someone's putting out a video that gets 10 to 50,000 views and is making insane money on the video. That's stupid. That's obviously not in line with what normal AdSense activity is. Okay? So, that's what happened. But to this day, people still spread misinformation that gets people into trouble. Like, for example, last night on Twitter, someone was posting up about some other YouTuber, don't know who the hell it is, I don't know who they were talking about, and they were like, how does someone get in trouble with AdSense on YouTube? Because here's someone who's blatantly telling their viewers to click on the video, click on the ad, do this, whatever, okay? And someone references me from 10 years...
Was that Amber Lynn Reed? Because I know she actually took down a video that was asking people to click ads. I talked about this briefly. She had made a video for Becky, her girlfriend, to support the ads on the videos because of the proceeds would go to Becky's mother. Becky's mother has, like, I think she has cancer or something along those lines. And she was going to have to go into surgery. I think probably by the time of me recording that she already has. And they were basically asking, hey, please click these ads because this money can go here. That's definitely against TOS. And that's why Amber ended up taking it down. Phil broke that rule 10 years before, 11 years before that. So it's still a thing even now, though. But maybe that's what he's referring to on Twitter. I don't know.
Years ago.
All I can taste is the saltiness.
And says, well, here's what happened. Do they call me DSP? Because he said this. And I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. Again? People are saying this. Like, after 10 fucking years, people are still spreading this misinformation. Still! So I responded. I was like, no, stop. Please stop spreading this bullshit. It's not true. It's not because I said or did anything. It's because of what actually happened with the videos themselves. Because that's the truth of the matter. You can say anything, but it's only until something actually happens that really, you know, there's a repercussion for it. You could say, I'm gonna beat you up, sucker. Big deal. But it's not until you actually go and beat the guy up that you're gonna get arrested, right? You know what I mean? You know.
So wait, so it was okay for you to threaten violence on Mitch Dyer, but until you actually do it, everything's gravy? Really? But it's funny because don't you imply that people want to initiate violence on you and then immediately play victim and call them mentally ill and say the police should come and get them and the white coats? But if they haven't done it, then who cares, right? So all the shit about Evil AJ and Be Awesome One and all these other people, that was all smoke and mirrors, wasn't it not? And you were really just making a situation bigger than it really needed to be? Because you're a drama queen bitch? Interesting.
That's kind of how it goes. So, and it's the same thing. You can say whatever you want, but finally something happens as a result of something you said, you know, I don't think you're ever going to be held as repercussions. You know what I mean? So, that's what happened.
So wait, so you can say that it's okay to say that I, Justine, got gangbanged at the EA executive offices, but it's mad that I take a crack that I was in bed with your wife, and I'm wrong for that? But yet you can imply that multiple men had their way with I, Justine to help further her career? I'm so confused now.
On Twitter yesterday, and I was like, I really wish people would stop. Because this is what happens is people believe that because something has been repeated over and over ad nauseum for years and years, that it's fact. Even though there's no basis in fucking fact. Your basis of fact is coincidental guessing and a forum post from an anonymous user from 10 years ago. That's your evidence of something? What are you, stupid?
Oh, you're gonna get salt, 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 salt. It's, oh, even now, again, my mouth overpowered with salt flavor.
Seriously, and these conspiracy theory nut jobs make things, oh, well, that's fact, that's what happened. Not at all, actually. Not even close, you know? So, you know, in particular, I guess there's this channel that people were talking about. If someone on YouTube is getting a popular channel or their channel's exploding in popularity, and they directly tell their viewers, you know, click on ads and do this, which you're not supposed to do, essentially what's going to happen is that person's going to get in trouble if people actually do it. If people don't do it, then it won't matter what the fuck they say. YouTube doesn't give a shit. You can show hanging dead bodies in a suicide forest in Japan, you know, and they don't ban you. I'm pretty sure that they're not going to have any negative repercussions for you just saying random stuff. But if things actually happen that negative...
But that doesn't mean that he didn't, what was that, Logan Paul? He didn't suffer consequences and backlash for it. Yeah, he didn't get kicked off the site. But it doesn't mean he didn't get penalized, though. The fuck are you talking about?
YouTube, like, oh shit, this person just made insane money on their channel this month, and it doesn't make sense, then they're probably going to take action, okay? So there you go. So there's the explanation. I don't know how many of you even cared about that, but people in stream chat said they wanted to hear the story, so I told the story. There's your story for the day.
Salt. That's all you can taste is salt.
If you want to help me out the most today, please consider tipping me. Alright? Tipping me is going to help me more than anything else right now. And I do need the support because I am massively overdrawn on my bank account. I'm waiting for this Twitch payment to come through, which is supposed to initiate today, and then it usually takes a day or two to process. So, you know, any tips you give me are going to help me out of this situation. I really do appreciate any support you can give me right now, so please consider it via tipping. Reminder that you don't need a PayPal account to tip me. Alright? Alright.
I guess that's it. Contributions this morning are incredibly slow. I really don't have much else to say because we've only had the one tip, and that's it. So, Eliza is by, or is it Bay? I don't even know how to pronounce it anymore. It's probably Bay. Says, you've been here since 2017 and you don't know how Twitch's paycheck works yet? No, because it's different every month. What? They don't have a set day every month that they pay you. Sometimes it's earlier, sometimes it's on the 15th, sometimes it's a little after, sometimes it initiates on the 15th and then it doesn't clear for 2 days, like today's a Sunday. So I'd be surprised if they pay me today if I could get that money in my bank account for at least 2 days, you see, because of the way it works on a Sunday, a bank's closed.
Yet again, this is petty. This is bullshit. Either which way, this is all petty. This is all bullshit. First off, this does confirm, for anybody who may have been wondering, that once he gets paid through Twitch to his PayPal, from PayPal, it gets moved over to his actual bank account. At least that's what this is telling me. Secondly, he's not talking about the second situation where he told people to interact with the videos, right? To interact with the videos and interact with the ads, if you will, to help him out. He's not talking about that either. That's the one where he was wearing the vest. I don't know if it's going to show up in this video or not. If I can find the clip, I will put it either at the beginning of the video or at the end of the video, or maybe even both. But I don't have it. I don't have it on deck, or if I do, I don't have. No, I don't see it. I don't see it. But I know I have it somewhere. I just don't have it where I'm supposed to have it. It's supposed to be in the news file. Anyway, unless it pops up in the Snort Burnell video, even if it does, I'll see if I can go ahead and find you another version of it, so you guys can actually see it in its entirety. But I don't have it here, sadly. Or at least not that I see. But that one right there, but both situations in itself look bad. And the second one itself is even more incriminating, to say the very least. It definitely someone, he can plead ignorance on the first one, which is what you've already seen. But the second one, he knows what he's doing is wrong, and that's why he's trying to talk in code to avoid problems or avoid getting in trouble.
So it all depends. There's a million factors. But no, there's no consistent thing when it comes to Twitch payments. They basically happen around the middle of the month. Okay? Bottle Crunch. Diligent Doge, that is completely wrong. He says they pay twice in a month. That's completely wrong. They pay once a month.
Why is there no tip leaderboard? Well, because number one, there is none on Twitch. There's no automatic tip leaderboard on Twitch because tips don't go through Twitch. The reason that there's a cheering...
Yeah, he is lying about that. I talked about that on the last broadcast, but I've hinted at it before that. That's where that mysterious $1,100 came from that Tevin had pointed out, praise be. And then Phil, watching a Tevin stream as he normally does, probably later on that night or the next night, ends up basically ripped that immediately. Or one of his minions told him about it and he ripped it. And there you go. So that's where that is. And you'll never see that again because now he knows, and well, we know too, that people are giving him money behind the scenes because that's not the first time that's happened. I'm sure it isn't. That's just the first time anybody ever really noticed it. And sadly, that shit has legs and it moved quick like all roaches do. And now we don't have it anymore.
Leaderboards because that's through Twitch. So there's already a public face to people who are cheering. That's already a public thing. They're choosing to be publicly acknowledged for their contribution. Tipping, you could do anonymously. Tipping, you can make up a name when you tip, right? Some people don't
So
want
then,
to...
yet again, why do you need to hide it? It's not about the person. He's trying to make it sound that way. He's trying to make it sound like I'm trying to protect the individual. But it's not about the individual. It's about the money. It's about the amounts of money. He doesn't want anybody in his audience to know that, hey, I just got that Phil was tipped $2,000 overnight by an anonymous user. He's not going to tell them that the next day. Why the fuck would he? Because then he can't sit there and give them the usual sob story if you just got $2,000 the night before. No. Phil's definitely not going to tell them that. So he's trying to make it sound like I'm protecting, or he's protecting, the actual contributor itself. He's only protecting himself and the money. That's really what he's doing. Because if the person can put up a fake name or whatnot, who cares? But it's the dollar amount that really matters.
Known that they're tipping. Therefore, a tips leaderboard would be completely dishonest because some people don't want to be up on a tips leaderboard. That's why one doesn't exist.
If they can put up any fake name they want or put anonymous, who cares? How does that make any sense at all?
Contributions today have been quite slow. I don't know if it's because people are all geared out after only a week of the game. You know, I only played this twice before, so I'm wrapping it up today. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. The game itself is pretty good. You guys have been interacting with me. We've been having some fun conversations, so I don't really know why people seem to be bored or whatever's going on, but I guess it is what it is, right? I can't really control that.
All right, guys, you ready to resume? Like I said, there's not much else going on. You know, slow contribution stream. Nothing I can do about that. You know, I'm enjoying the game. I hope you guys are too. Everyone who's here seems to be enjoying themselves.
I know Chen is dead, and I don't know why. I don't know why. People love chill streams. This is like a chill stream, but people don't want to fucking treat it like a chill stream.
This is like a chill... People love chill streams. This is like a chill stream, but not a chill stream. I don't understand why people aren't interacting. Because it's not a chill stream. Dude.
They just sit there and say nothing or don't watch. That's like weird, man. I don't get it. I really don't get it. People say, oh, I want to do chill stream material. Okay, here's a chill stream. Oh, this is boring. Like, what? What? The fuck's the point of the chill stream? What?
So does Phil think all of the games that are on the chill streams are boring? Something to think about.
I mean, thanks to everyone who hung out with me and contributed. It was a pretty slow night, to be completely honest with all of you. It's so weird that I could do, like, chill streams of stuff that don't have any action or anything like this. And people are very excited, and they talk to me, and they engage with me, and they contribute. Then I play a game like this, action-packed and, like, slow. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. Stream chat is very slow, and no one's talking to me, so I don't know what's going on. I don't know if it crashed or people are just not being interactive yet again when I play this game. I can't make people talk to me, you know? There's literally nothing going on in stream chat right now. I don't know if it died on my PC or on my laptop. Let's see. No, now someone said something. See, I knew it. What is going on? Yeah. Feel life. indoctrinated children who send him money.
Oh boy. Alright, like I said, I'll try to find that second begging segment. I'll see if I can find it for you. If I do, it'll be put at the beginning of the video. I might put it at the end too, but I'll definitely try to put it in the beginning. I'll try to put both of them side by side. Or at least I'll put one after another so you can check it. And then this way, if you make it up to this point, you kind of know what I'm talking about. Hopefully. I'm going to have to find it, though. I'm going to have to go find it, though. But I have no problem with that. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go into the second video of our broadcast. I'll see you guys literally in just a second.
This is how I play the game! Oh my god! What the fuck?
Holy shit! That is an epic fucking intro, dude.
And I have to warn everyone, warning, what you may see right now is going to be absolutely disgusting.
Sound good?
Alright, sounds good to me.
So I do have some good news. I did get paid by Twitch. That's currently in process. What that means is it's currently being processed by my bank account, or my bank. I should have my weekly Twitch payment processed within the next 1 to 2 days. Like either today it'll clear or...
Oh, wow. All right, ladies and gentlemen, for the second and last video of our broadcast, we are here yet again with Snort Burnell, DSP. Twitch payment doesn't matter. He still needs the tips. Tips. His salty Street Fighter 2 rage quit. Here we go.
Tomorrow, usually at the latest. That's good news. The bad news is I was massively overdrawn on my bank account by the time that this happened. So even though I'm getting paid, I'm going to be backed up by a lot of money. All right. So the good news is the immediate future, meaning, but basically about the next 2 weeks, things won't be so bad for me financially. But then early next month, things will get bad again. That's what happens every month because of this. So it sucks, alright? But I just want to let you guys know, because I've been talking over the past couple of weeks about being overdrawn. As of either today or tomorrow, I shouldn't be anymore.
But see, the thing is, though, is we always said it was going to come to this. It was always going to get to the point where it was going to be a full month of begging. Forget a full month, a full year of begging. This is going to be a lifetime of begging. This is what it's come down to. It's going to be this way. It's probably going to be this way from here on out, to be honest. Especially if we're following Phil's 10-year / 15-year plan for how to get himself out of debt. Because, and I was talking to somebody about this in an email, actually, I think, where if Phil refinances his home, he's still going to have to pay that money back. It's gonna take care of everything in the short term, semi-long term. He's still going to have to pay the money back. And then if he can never really sell that condo in Connecticut, because he's definitely not going to default on it, not without fucking himself even further. That's going to take time. That's going to take money. He's in a rut where he's never going to really get out of, and he understands that. You know what I mean? So to go ahead and keep putting up the front that you guys need to support me month in, month out is basically the situation. The begging aspect of Phil's life on Twitch is tips. Everything else is the subs, the bits, the cheers, what little money he makes off ads, and then YouTube and Patreon. But tips is something entirely in itself. It's on Twitch. It's on Twitch's platform, but it is by far merely just begging. That's really what it is. It's begging, and it's profitable.
It just really sucks. This is my life now.
I want to spank my fucking meal. I really want to go. I'm so sexually aroused by food. I want to spank that here.
Recently, as you know, I've been asking you guys for tips more than anything. The truth of the matter is, tips are still going to help me more than anything right now, because I got a few games I need to buy by the end of the month. In particular, you got Zelda coming up, and then possibility of Code Vein. Alright, and then we got a lot of games coming out in October I need to afford. In addition to that, as I told you guys, I was monstrously overdrawn on my bank account, and even though that's going to be fixed, I'm going to basically be in the same exact position again come next month. So, if you would like to tip me, tipping me is helping me more, just matter-of-factly than anything else.
Make money. Follow that formula that makes money. Blatantly milking for money.
Johnny Skidmarks, who cheered and said, I know you're not considering having kids anytime soon, but hypothetically, do you think you could afford it if you have a kid at the moment? First of all, it's not anytime soon, it's never. I'm not considering having kids ever. As I've said before for the past year, Kat and I have had a serious conversation. Neither of us want kids. The answer is no, it's not now, it's never. We don't want kids, okay?
This guy's a bitch.
Phil and his girlfriend aren't doing well because she sleeps in it downstairs. She's sleeping upstairs. My wife left me.
And yeah, bottom line, no, there's no way I could afford a kid right now. There's not, you know, there's no other corners I can cut and say, oh.
There's plenty of corners he can cut, but that's not the thing. Yet again, as I've said before, he can't have someone be put before himself. Period. It's as easy as that. It's as simple as that. It's as straightforward as that. He cannot have someone else be put before him. He just can't. He has to be the center of his world, the center of his universe, and anything else that impedes on that in any way, shape, or form has to eventually get ripped. And if you think about it, John's a good example of that. To be honest with you, even though that wasn't done by Phil's own volition, that wasn't something that Phil willed for. After Phil left Connecticut, John had to be, John had to be, but John was like, hey, I got stuff that I got to take care of myself. You moved to better yourself, to better your content, so on and so forth. John's like, I get it, no problem. I think everybody over there in Connecticut got it. And he went off his own way so he could better himself and better his life and what he wants to do. He wasn't going to keep whoring himself out on YouTube. Not to say that he was whoring himself, you know what I mean? That's not what his plans were, was to make money on YouTube and go through all these hoops or whatever. It was a creative outlet for him. But real life is real life, and sometimes you can't wait for a bunch of pay piggies to come through and save the day. It just doesn't work that way, which just goes to show how Phil and a lot of the friends that he had were wired differently, to be honest. But that's neither here nor there. That's just kind of how the situation works in tandem. But I think it all ties itself together pretty well. You know what I mean? It's pretty apparent.
Well, if we have a kid, we can do this and this to afford it. No, I'm done. I'm strapped. I can't afford to pay my bills every month.
And here's another thing too. And now that I literally just thought about this. If Phil announced that he had a kid, or him and Catherine were having a kid, his parents would shower him and Catherine with money and everything else to go along with that. See, here's the thing. We are under this notion that his mom and dad Phil's mom and dad, I should say, live on the block. You know what I'm saying? There's a whole lot of slinging going on. Everybody's out there drinking purple. There's gunfights out there every night. It's a crazy place apparently out there in their part of Connecticut. That's what he tries to sell us on. And that his parents are broke as a joke, and they can't really help and support him, despite the fact that they give him money each month, and they covered his taxes, and they paid for his wedding, and they paid for his vacation, and they gave him spending money. That's all semantics, though, by the way. But, just throwing all that out there. But they can't rise up and move to a much better place, to a nicer place that they really deserve. Basically, i.e., why aren't you guys living in a much nicer house so when you guys die, I can take that house? I know, that sounds kind of brutal, but keep walking with me on this. We're almost up to the corner, so we're about to turn this corner in a minute, and then the park's right there, so keep walking with me. With that being said, and with the narrative that Phil has spun on his parents for years, how is it that his family has all this money? Excuse me. How does his parents have all this money to keep sending him each month? How is that a thing? And especially with dad and 3 herniated discs, but yet he's still working. And he was making 6 figures back when Phil started working at the helicopter company, and that was like 16, 17 years ago. You would think just with Phil's father's experience, he's going to make good money wherever he's going now, and whatever he's doing, whether he's in the state or he has to, travel outside the state for work. So that's a thing. And like I said, they can keep supporting this fuck up of a son. It's almost like, hey, Phil, maybe your parents would have all these nice things if, you weren't such an asshole and keep asking them for money. Oh, well, they're my parents. They're supposed to do that. All right, if that's how you feel. But you're probably one of the largest deficits on your family, on your parents. I mean, don't get me wrong, when you have a child, you live for your children, but Jesus Christ, he's 37. How much more living do they have to do for him? On top of that, how broke are they really if they can support Phil the way they do, month in, month out, for years? Especially if he keeps throwing his sob story on them about how he's so broke and how he's having such problems with his money. It makes one wonder that maybe his family is definitely well off than he's telling us, and keeps throwing up the sob story so he can get money, so he can double tap. He can get money out of the fan base and still keep getting money from his parents. Because it's very obvious that his parents don't know all the ins and outs of what he's going through, especially financially. The drama is drama, but financially they don't have all the ins and outs. They don't know it. There's no way they do. So that opens up a whole can of worms in itself. Just want you to think about that. This is how far one man is willing to go, and I use the term man loosely, to live the way he wants to live. But we're all the brain dead idiots. We're the problem because we point that out. Imagine that. DSP News.
How the hell would I have a kid? So the answer is no, I couldn't afford one, and no, we're not having one. We have no plans on having one ever. Okay?
One more thing. When that was actually brought up, when Kat showed up on stream, that was her second time on stream, if I remember correctly. She wasn't actually satisfied with that answer. Like, she wasn't satisfied with that answer at all. She looked like she actually may very well be interested in having children. It's Phil who didn't want it. And yet again, if they have a child, his parents are going to shower that child with everything. Look at what they're doing for Jasper, quote unquote. So they would shower that child with everything. And they would really want Phil and Catherine to come back out there to see them so they can see the baby. Especially if, allegedly, his family can't travel. But then now Phil's not the focus anymore because now they got a grandchild. Now they have someone else. They got a little person here that can actually carry the Burnell name and not be a total fuck up. Phil, you telling me Phil isn't petty? He's not petty enough that he wouldn't allow that to happen? No, you guys can only love me and you guys can only support me for the rest of your lives. There's not going to be someone else that's going to take that away from me. You're telling me Phil isn't that petty? You're telling me? I want you to think about this for a minute. Okay, like let's take the fun part out of it for just a second. And I want you to think about this. You really think Phil would let a child come in and take away that attention? Now, most of you are like, well, come on, GTG. Of course he might as well go with that because look at all the money he could make off of his kid. Phil ain't thinking about that right now. Phil ain't thinking about that. He wrapped up in his own emotions. He's wrapped up in his own feelings. That baby is going to take away from him. It's going to leech from him. That child's going to be a parasite to him. In his own eyes, in his own head. I'm not saying that's what kids are, because they're obviously not. Because if that's the case, why would anybody want to have a parasite? So why would that make, that doesn't make a whole lot of sense, especially if, coming from somebody who wants to have kids later on himself. So so for everybody else, for rational individuals, they're not going to think that way. But Phil don't think that way. Phil's just like, oh, this is just someone that's taken away from me now. And there are plenty of people out there, I have friends that are like that actually, who are not interested in having kids later on down the line. For various reasons. And that's understandable. But they're not sociopaths like Phil, though. These are not people who look at other people just to be used and after that be discarded. That is very much what Phil is. That's very much what he is at the core of his being. So yet again, do you really see Phil looking outside of himself and putting somebody else before him? Nope. And if he's not willing to do that, he damn sure ain't going to let his wife do that. He damn sure ain't going to let his mother or father do that. Especially if, and I want you to think about this, ladies and gentlemen, his parents, Phil's parents, would try to give that child the best of everything. Even stuff that they probably couldn't give to Phil, which, trust me, they gave him plenty. They would, especially from abnormalities and handicaps and disabilities and all that bullshit, apparently, they would try to give that kid the best of everything, if they could, within their power. You really think Phil's going to let that happen? You really think Phil's going to open up his door and see UPS, FedEx, or whoever else sending packages upon packages just for baby Burnell, right? Over him and him not getting anything? You really think he's going to be able to sit there and not brood on that? Think about it, ladies and gentlemen. DSP News.
Penny points are not working. I have not been approved for any penny points system. Yeah, I applied for it last week and I've heard nothing back, so we wait and see, okay? Hopefully.
That's going too far. It's really disgusting, toxic content that should be moderated.
Oh my god. I'm sorry, guys, excuse me. That was absolutely disgusting, and it came out of me mid-sentence. So obviously I wasn't expecting that. That came out mid-sentence. Wow. So anyway, sorry about that. I apologize for that disgusting vomit.
And then Thursday night, I think I'm going to do a throwback Street Fighter stream where I play classic Street Fighter 2, and Street Fighter 3 Third Strike. If this still turns out well, I'll keep doing it, but this may be the last hurrah for that, because really last time I tried to play, I couldn't find anyone at all besides a troll who wouldn't play me, and an asshole who would just abuse lag, and he basically does this. He hunts me down because he's a no-life loser, and he just tries to use lag abuse to piss me off rather than playing legit gameplay of the game.
Ugh. All I can really taste is salt.
What? Now my punch doesn't work. I didn't do that! Dude, I didn't do that!
We're gonna do that. I'm not sure how or when I'm gonna do it yet, but there's at least 3 dedicated videos out there of Evil AJ beating the stuffing out of DSP. There's at least 2, because I know he has one on his channel after the last big session, and then I'm hearing this is a big thing, and there might be another one out there too. But I'm gonna go over those. We'll just have like one long video where we just go ahead and see Phil get his ass handed to him and hear all of the fucking mountain upon mountain upon mountain of pig shit excuses that he has for why he lost. It's going to be phenomenal.
He was pressing punch to get the command throw during his combo. I stopped hitting it. All of a sudden, the hands came out the wrong way afterward. Yeah, fuck this idiot. I'm done. I'm not even gonna play him because his connection now is getting worse. As I'm playing him now, the game's lagging out, giving him even more of an incredible advantage. So go fuck yourself, you piece of fucking donkey shit. You are a piece of fucking human filth. He rage quit! He rage quit! Oh my god, he rage quit. Are you fucking serious? D-Train cheered and said, looks like you can't beat this guy. You're sadly mistaken. The guy's a fuck.
You got the brakes beat off you and then you ran. What else is that? What was someone supposed to take away from that? Seriously. That's like, right? That's like, for example, me and 2 people that I know are, I don't know, in the grocery store or whatever the case, and we run into Catherine and Phil, and we're complimenting Catherine, and we're saying, how you doing, this, that, and third. Phil get butthurt, probably isn't going to do anything. He's probably going to sit in the corner and get cucked, though. But let's say, for example, he was brave enough to say anything. Okay, let's just say. Phil comes up and swings on one of us, and then gets the shit beat out of him. And then has the nerve to go up to the cashier after they get, because obviously they're going to continue shopping. And he all beat up, and she's going to be like, wow, you look like you got roughed over. Oh, well, you're sadly mistaken. It was buggy gout mechanics. I could have beat all those guys if I wanted to. I just couldn't. It's dumb shit like that. That was a terrible example, by the way. But it's like dumb shit like that. Like, you clearly couldn't win in that situation. Like, Evil AJ is better than you in, like, all ways. You know what I mean? Like, of course, Phil will always scratch out 1 victory, maybe 2. So, congratulations. You won a couple of battles. You're going to lose the war. Or you did lose the war. And you're constantly going to. And I think that's what hurts Phil even more than anything. Is that, this is how you don't play and all that shit. That's one thing. But Phil's legacy as a former pro fighting game player doesn't mean jack shit because Evil AJ hasn't beat at all, basically hasn't beat at all corners. So the one thing Phil's supposed to be known for and is supposed to get all of his acknowledgement from, and he can say that he's actually good in, he gets beat and he can't do much about it. Like at all, you literally can't do anything about it except for give excuses. And the excuses just don't hold up. At the end of the day, you just keep losing to him. It's obvious you can't win. Please stop embarrassing yourself. Oh boy.
Fucking piece of donkey shit and would never beat me offline. He just abused the game to infinite ability.
That's it. It just tastes like I'm biting a gelatinous chunk of rubbery salt.
And when's Phil going to play him offline? Phil don't even leave his house except for once a day, and that's when he's with Catherine. So when's he going to ever meet Evil AJ or anybody else in real life and actually challenge them at a cabinet? Get out of here. Or even go to a like a gaming cafe or something, they both sit down head to head. When's that ever going to happen?
It's exactly what it tastes like.
And it's very frustrating. So what I ended up doing last time I did this, I went to lobbies instead. And then once I actually got into random lobbies, just playing all the games of the collection, I actually got a little bit more enjoyment out of it, and it was actually quite fun. I'd say the second hour of the last Street Fighter stream was pretty fun. But if we can't find lobbies, and if we can't find people to play, then obviously I can't do Throwback Street Fighter anymore, right? So we'll see how this goes.
Now keep in mind, I want you to think about this. He loves Street Fighter. Been following the game for 20 years, been playing it for 20 years, whatever the case may be. He's going to drop the game over one person. I want you to think about that. He's going to drop the game over one person. Phil sits there and tells you that he thrives for challenges and this, that, and the third, especially in Street Fighter. He said a couple sessions ago that he's always learning something new and so on and so forth, and that's why he loves this game. But one person is running him off. One person is causing him to throw away 20 years. I want you to think about that. DSP News.
Thursday night. Then on Monday, if everything goes according to plan, which I hope it does, Monday will be the release of the Genesis Mini.
The hype buyers, the hype devourers. Yet these fuckers slurp it up like fucking noodles, like hype. Oh, ooh, gotta eat it, gotta eat the hype. Oh, give me the money.
And the reason that I'm doing it on Monday instead of Thursday when it really comes out in other places is because I had it, a fan of mine ordered it from Amazon, which you would think, oh, Amazon's on top of the new releases. Apparently Amazon is not shipping the Genesis Mini to anyone until the 23rd of September. That's really stupid in my opinion. It's a new game release. They always seem to ship consoles and games for release. For whatever reason, they're behind the 8 ball when it comes to the Genesis Mini, and I don't know why. But
it's a new game release. It's an emulator with a bunch of old-ass games on it. Old-ass games that you can either find currently in collections on the Xbox or PSN, respectfully, or you could play it on an old console if you have the right cords to actually be able to stream it and capture it. He's treating this shit like it's a brand new game. This right here tells me that this shit has no value to him whatsoever. No sentimental value, if you will. It's really just a cash out. He's sitting here treating this shit like it's a new fucking release, and it's not. It's not meant to be. It's for nostalgia purposes. But Phil's already just looking at it as just a way to profit, and when he's done with it, he'll discard it with the rest of his peripherals that he doesn't care about anymore.
I can only play it when I get it, right? So I'm supposed to get it around the 23rd. If I get it on the 23rd, great. Then what I'm going to be doing that day, we're going to be doing a live unboxing. We're going to be doing a hookup, where I hook it up, to my setup here. And we're going to start streaming from it, capturing from it, look at the quality. We're going to take a look at the games that are in it and everything. Depending on when I get the console, it may be the main gameplay stream for the day, or it may be the late night gameplay stream. Because it really depends on when the console shows up, okay? So we'll see, and depending on when it shows up is when I'm going to be covering it on stream. Jessica Tim, who did a 50-bit cheer overnight. Pretty awesome. Again, people think about me overnight when I'm not even broadcasting. Some people keep me in mind, and that's awesome. So Jessica Tim basically says, Phil, there's so much negativity around you. I do sometimes watch some certain people, all right? And I cannot believe the degree that some folks can go to make stuff up about you. Keep doing what you're doing. Don't give them ammunition. I do my best. The problem is that these people have found that latching on to me has given them prominence, has given them notoriety, and in some cases has given them a lot of money.
Oh my God.
And so because of that, they're not going to abandon their negative, toxic train of popularity. They're just going to keep rolling with it, right? Even though it's at my expense, they know that. They know it's at my expense, and they know that it hurts me. They don't give a shit because they're immoral. And, you know, I don't go out of my way to talk about it on streams at all. You know, unless it affects me or if someone directly asks me like you just did, then I'll bring it up. But in general, I don't care about it. I just ignore it, you know. I don't know if someone on a daily basis is stealing my content or restreaming me or doing nasty stuff. I don't pay attention. I mean, every day they are. I know for a fact at least once a day someone's doing that to me. And there's not much I can do about it. You know, I'm not rich. I can't go to court and sue these people to make them stop it. You know what I mean? What they do is against the law, and what they do is against terms of service of various places where they do it. Sadly, those businesses where they do it don't give a shit. You know, there's a reason why the people who are like that aren't on Twitch. Twitch does not tolerate that shit.
Twitch loves me and my streams.
They see
And that's supposed to be justification to get people deplatformed, Phil? Like, the people who want you to get knocked off of Twitch have good reason to. You've done some really horrible and vile shit that you need to be disciplined. When a bitch get out of pocket, they need some discipline. But for you, you thought you were going to deplatform 3 people, possibly 4, because I still hold to the theory that he has some hand in that low tier god situation. For what, Phil? What's your reasoning? And then you sit here and say that you don't know shit about shit. You don't worry about that stuff. You ignore it. This, that, and the third, but yet it eats at you whenever someone brings it up and you talk about it. So how much attention are you really paying towards it if it's always eating at you when people bring it up? Some of his best rants just in the last couple months have been Detractor fueled. Pretty much since Tevin's birthday. Just throwing that out there. Like, how much attention are you really not paying attention to? You know what I mean? If you're just sitting here getting mad about every little damn thing. Holy shit, I cannot find this thing on Twitter either. I know somebody on Twitter has it. If DSP Archives doesn't have it, Mrhuth Stuff might have it. Maybe King of Hate has it. Or King of Crybabies. Maybe King of Crybabies has it. Or No Context DSP probably may have it too. I'll have to look. I know somebody has that clip though. LipJan might have it. Anyway, I'll look. I know somebody has it though. I know for sure somebody has it. If not, it's on my Twitter timeline. Anyway, so yeah, how much attention is he really? Does he really not give to the situation? Of course he knows someone's restreaming him. Of course he knows that people are using his content and making it something even better. And some of them are profiting off of it. He knows that he can't, yet again, it's a war that he can't win. And even with him trying to take people's stuff down, all that brings is more hate to him. And he's scared of that. So where else is he going to go? His life is, he started his YouTube life on negativity. Why would anybody expect it to change?
And they say, that's toxic, disgusting, illegal bullying, and we're done with that shit. We're not going to let people make a living on behalf of making fun of others. But YouTube doesn't really give a fuck. YouTube just lets anything fly.
People on Twitch make fun of you and they don't make a living off it, but they make fun of you and they make money off of it. They make bank anyway. But you don't want to talk about that because they're bigger than you and they could actually hurt you, right?
Unless they get sued, they let anything fly. So, I mean, case in point, YouTube was putting illegal advertisements on children-aimed videos forever. It wasn't until they just got sued by the FCC that they now realize they can't do that. They can't just put, you know, indirectly targeted advertising on videos that children are watching because it's illegal. There's actually laws against that you can only have certain kinds of advertisements geared towards children, and YouTube has ignored those laws for so many years. They just lost, I think it was like $170 million in a settlement with the FCC. So, I mean, unless YouTube gets sued, they don't care and they don't fix anything. You know? So, I'm not...
Got it. Okay. Mrhuth Stuff actually has it on his timeline. Has it from September 15th. It is a channel update, post-unemployment channel update from October 2nd of 2010. This is the thing that you could say in conjunction with both of them that got him screwed up. I knew I saw it somewhere. I knew I saw it somewhere. Shouts out to Dark Day Mirrors. I knew I saw that shit somewhere. Got it. Okay, cool. Alright, so we know where... So I know where to get it now. Good shit. Alright, sorry guys. I've been lamenting on that for a minute.
Surprised that it happens. But thank you, Jessica, for the cheer. And yes, I'm not going to let it get me down. You know, I try not to create bait for those people. It is what it is. Sometimes they'll take whatever I say and do and turn it into something stupid. You know, like that's the thing. Something as innocuous as making a quick joke on a stream that's you know, 10 seconds of a 6-hour stream. Oh my God, look at what Phil said today here. Blow it up and drama, blah, blah, blah. Because that's what gets them attention. That's the kind of, you know, negative shitheads they are, is that they have to do that. They can't make positive content because no one would watch it. So...
The streamers are very interactive. I'm talking with everybody. What the hell are you talking about? Equilibrium. No, seriously, so many fucking whiny people today. What is going on? Why are people here not to have fun instead of troll and be whiny bitches? Like, what the hell, man? Talk about the difference from the first GTA stream on Sunday and today. People just want to annoy me. Just fucking relax, dude. Stop complaining. Talk with people the entire goddamn stream. Sheesh. Oh, excuse me. That came out of nowhere. I'm very sorry about that, everyone. That was absolutely disgusting. And I apologize profusely for my flatulence. Actually, flatulence is when it comes out of your ass. What is it when it comes out of your mouth? Your belchulence. Apologies all around.
Modern day Maharaja did a 50-bit cheer and asks the following. He says, "This might sound as try this again. This might sound as an odd question. I can't read. Try this again. Hey Phil, this might be an odd question. Why was that so hard to read? I don't know. How come you say contribution instead of donation? All the other streamers I say I can't.
Why?
Went full clown mode there.
They want to pay me. I'm so confused. I really am. That was a lot of money that they paid me just for nothing. Why do they do this? I'm so confused. I don't get it. I don't get it. It's just so confusing. I mean, there's no logic behind it, right? Like, my head is just... I cannot figure out a logical reason for it. Dweebenheimer says, don't question it, just take it and move on. I know, right? It's like the dunk tank at a carnival where the clown sits in the dunk tank and you throw balls to dunk the clown, right? Oh my God.
Alright, that's it. Hey Phil, this might be an odd question, but how come you say contribution instead of donation? All the other streamers I watch say donation. I did it! I did it! Okay, I don't know what the fuck happened there. I got it done. Okay, so... Modern day Maharaja, the bottom line is I couldn't answer you. I don't know why people say and do what they do on Twitch. I'm not them, right? I have no idea. Maybe they feel it sounds better saying donation rather than contribution or tip. But in reality, per the law, meaning in the United States, again, that's another thing. Maybe in another country it's categorized differently. In the United States, per the laws of our country, okay, the way it works is that income that you gather on a stream, no matter what method, is considered taxable income, which means it is not a donation, okay? A donation, in particular, is usually considered a contribution given to a non-for-profit entity that usually is not a taxable transaction, okay? Essentially, a donation would be like if you went to a charity for research to stop a certain kind of illness or to feed the hungry, stuff like that. That would be considered a donation, and in particular in the United States, if you donate to stuff like that, that's actually a tax-deductible transaction where you don't have to pay taxes on it at all. Essentially, when you contribute to a streamer, the United States government views that as a contribution, much like if you went to a restaurant and you tipped your waiter or waitress, or if you went to a bar and you tipped the bartender who was making you drinks all night. It's considered a gratuity. It's an optional transaction where you give someone additional money saying, good job, here's some extra stuff. And essentially that's what it is. I'm putting out a free gameplay stream for you. You determine under your own volition whether or not you like that stream. If you do, if you choose to contribute to allow me to continue to do what I love to do, that's great. and you do so. But that is a taxable transaction, okay? It's not a donation where you're giving to a non-for-profit, you know what I mean? It's not like that at all, okay? So, I mean, all I can do, modern day Maharaja, is guess. My guess would be that other streamers either, number one, feel that donation sounds better, and if you say donate, you'll be more ample to, oh, I want to donate to that streamer versus, oh, I want to contribute or leave a tip. Donating sounds better. Oh, I donated.
Well, Phil, being that most people who ask for donations actually have it go to something, meaning like they actually have it go back into their streams to make sure the streams are better, meaning that back to better equipment, maybe to a better computer, maybe to a better backdrop, maybe that's a thing and whatnot, that they know that their money is going to help contribute to the stream to in turn make even more money. Maybe that's how they look at it. You ever thought about it that way? Instead of trying to take the negative out of it, and well, instead of you trying to insert the negative into it, and especially since if we're going to get ready to go into tax talk, you've already fucked up your taxes. How many other streamers are running around here asking for people to pay their taxes? I'm sure there's somebody, but how many though? And who did it on the level that you did it? Just saying.
You feel better about dropping some contributions, right? Rather than saying that I spent something on someone. Oh, I donated. It makes you feel better about yourself, right? Maybe that's the case. I don't know. I could be completely off base. I'm guessing. The other thing is, it could be that these people are not if they live in the United States, I don't know. If they're international outside of the U.S., I don't know how it works. But if they're in the United States, they're trying to erroneously categorize their income so that they don't have to pay taxes on it. Which is...
See how immediately he goes to the negative with it? Immediately. Now, keep in mind, this is someone who basically pulled off tax evasion for 3 years. You know what I mean? He owed business state tax and wouldn't pay it. And when he finally got caught, he basically spent a month, if not two, basically taking these people around circles, trying to explain to them why he doesn't qualify under their laws on why he owes them back business tax or business state and occupation tax. I'm sorry. That's what he tried to come up with all these excuses and reasons on why he didn't owe it. And I think that's the reason why it took so long for him to say anything to the population in general, because he was hoping that they would let him skew by on it, and they didn't. They just skewered him. So keep that in mind too. So when he goes to the negatives of it all, it's stuff that in his own head he would have done himself. And he immediately will put the negative, throw mud on these people, fling shit at them, if you will, because no one is honest, or no one's as honest as he is. It's amazing for someone to go to kind of step about their face, especially when they're doing wrong themselves, to try to accuse other people of doing so. Even if it's under the concept of speculation, he's already been slapped for the same thing. So now it makes him feel better, oh, that other people might be doing it too. Just saying. Think about it.
Completely wrong, and if the IRS ever catches up with them and audits them, they're completely screwed. They're going to be told all of their income was taxable income, and they should have been paying taxes on it all the time. And essentially, they could actually be told they were hiding their income. If it was found that they were intentionally doing this, it could be considered tax fraud, which is a felony, which is a major crime. That's why all these years, everyone hears me talk about taxes, and they're like, I don't understand. Other streamers don't talk about taxes, and, you know, they act like it's not a big deal. It's like, yeah, because they probably don't do their taxes right. They probably...
Oh, it's not that they actually have money put away for their taxes. They're immediately frauds, and they're just really bad people. So, you know, they're just not doing their taxes right. Not that they're responsible fucking individuals who put money to the side or actually pay people to do it. None of that. Even Twitch thoughts handle their taxes right. But no. In Phil's eyes, though, nah, they're frauds. They're doing something wrong. There's something up. There's something nefarious afoot. That's what it is. That's the reason why you don't hear them talk about it. How retarded is that? Like, how absolutely just ridiculous, mind-numbing, mentally ill do you have to be to believe that that's how the world works?
We lie and or hide their income and categorize it as other shit so that they don't pay taxes on it, when in reality they should be paying taxes on it the whole time. Okay? So that's the deal. I was very much wondering when I became a full-time streamer, 2 years ago how that was going to work. And when I talked to my tax guy, he was like, no. He's like, don't get any misconceptions. You know, people that are sending you money, that's considered a taxable gratuity, and it has to be paid taxes on. You know, if you don't, you're going to get screwed over in the long run. So, you know, that's why I do things the way I do it, all right?
So he told you about your taxes and your tips and everything, but he didn't tell you about the state occupation tax, business and occupation tax that you owed? That don't sound right. That don't sound right at all. Oh yeah, I want you, make sure you do this. Make sure to protect yourself from this, but don't protect yourself from that. What?
Fuck the IRS. Still has indoctrinated children who send him money, blatantly milking for money. It's a money pit. It's gone, just gone like that. In an instant, fucking gone. I just care about money. I just can't help it. By eBay. Contributions are mandatory. But I need your help. I am appealing directly to you. No decent.
Amazing. Absolutely amazing.
Hey yo, I just want to say shout out to my red bike. It got stolen about a year ago.
Big ups to the red bike. Alright, so let's go ahead and clean up. Thank you yet again, Snort Burnell. I very much appreciate it. Holy shit. Crazy, dude. Absolutely crazy. Oh my god. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, so let's wrap up. Okay, so let's see what we got here. Let's see what we got here. What did we learn today, ladies and gentlemen? We learned that the Twitch payment, no matter how much it is, means nothing. Which we already knew that, but we're just going to reiterate that. That your Twitch payment, that Phil's Twitch paycheck, which is at times $10,000, if not more at times, doesn't mean shit. You need to keep tipping him. He needs them. He's going to consistently and constantly and consecutively need money over and over and over again, and that's never going to change anything. Even if a large windfall comes in of a Emerald 7, for example, $12,000+, if not more, doesn't mean anything at all. You got to keep tipping him and supporting him in other ways. So I think we've got that locked in. The salty rage quit for Street Fighter 2. Like I said, we'll go over that further and whatnot. That should be interesting to watch. I think it will. And debunking the AdSense, like I said, I'll try to have both clips either at the beginning of the video or at the end of the video. More likely in the beginning though, so this way you kind of get revved into it. But if you want, I can. Well, not if you want, because you wouldn't be able to really make a decision on that until now. I'll put one at the end of the video too. I'll put them both at the end of the video so you can see it for yourselves, and we can get that all squared away. At least so we got that locked in. But the story sounds like the story sounds really nutty, really nutty, and I'm pretty sure there's something very wrong with it. But we'll dive in that on another time. But just kind of, like I said, just go ahead and poke around. They're playing Detractors who have covered that or who are devolving themselves into it, and you'll find it. I'm confident that you will. And for anybody who has some of the dates locked down or just the situation itself, by all means, please comment down below. I very much appreciate it. And then low interactions. I mean, he can't keep it together. He just can't. He can't keep it together, and everything's slowly but surely drifting from him, as one would expect. I don't know how else to really explain that. It's just how it works. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so very much for coming by and indulging me in the broadcast. I very much appreciate it. And I'll see you guys for the next broadcast, whenever that might be. Hopefully sooner than later. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Snort Report, and this is DSP News. Always late, never breaking. Always late, never breaking. Unreliable coverage that you can't count on. A GTG Network and Productions. For the Snort Report, I am your host, /anchor GTG, and I'm signing off. Take care of yourselves, guys. See you on the next one. Later.
My red bike. It got stolen about a year ago, and I think about you every day. But now I got a blue bike, and it's not the same, but it's a new life, a new journey. So rest in pedals, red bike, I love you. I like to bask in the tropics with a flask in my pocket. If you act no frolic, I'll start laughing and mocking like a charismatic parrot that isn't comic. Now I'm feeling like the shit, cause I'm rapping with phonics. juice off of Jan Ricky's, perusing Sin City, riding my Schwinn smooth like the swing of Ken Griffey, and the felt of the velvet. I said hell with a helmet. I can tell that you're jealous of the smell of the shellfish. Don't tell me I need a haircut. You can't walk a mile in my shoes cause I'm barefoot. Bob's taking the toke, God's making the joke. With a Mickey Mantle rookie card close pinned to my spoke. I'm partying with the dead like Dia de los Muertos. People look at me funny cause I'm a scarecrow, but I don't care bro, I'm snacking on apricots. I need my space like an astronaut. I'm in the sun chasing rum with the juice of a plum. In a singing mood, and drinking booze like a bomb. Someone stole my red bike, so I bought a blue one. I was sad, but fuck it, I got a new one. Chasing rum with the juice of a plum. In a singing mood, and drinking booze like a bomb. Someone stole my red bike, so I bought a blue one. I was sad, but fuck it, I got a new one.
Please go to my partner channel, The King of Hate HD, and click on the ads that show up on the videos there, because hopefully, you know, fingers crossed, that actually starts giving me some money back for what I'm doing. I mean, it's not cheap to do what I'm doing. I bought a lot of games, a lot of equipment, and now I have my own condo, which is basically my studio, to do whatever the hell I want. So, you know, anything that you can give back is much appreciated. I also do have the PayPal donation. Basically, I crunched some numbers. I tried to figure some stuff out, and basically, realistically, I could probably make this work and be that I just make videos for YouTube as a job. It being that now that I don't have a full-time job taking up 8 hours a day, you know, actually really it was more like 10 to 12 hours a day, 5 days a week, and having that time now to work on my videos and my gameplay and other things, I might be able to make it work. And here's how. It's not going to be based off of selling any product. It's basically going to be based off of my partner channel, which is this channel, The King of Hate HD, and basically how much you guys participate with this channel, if you know what I mean. I'm not allowed to come out and just say, you know, how you can do that, but anyone who's accustomed to YouTube and how the partner channels work, I'm sure you understand what I'm saying.